more props here to begin the second part of the second half of our tour.
Be prepared fully because it'll be going along with you on the shuttle. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your Studio Backlot tour.
Alright, now it's time to continue on with our tour. There you see the backdrop of Lights Motor Action, which I saw off camera, and I thought it was incredible seeing all the stunt and the great special effects. I think I would see that show any day if it was in California, which unfortunately it doesn't, unfortunately. Now here's a prop from the Hannah Montana movie, which I never saw, but from all I've been hearing, I'll be glad I did. Now this is probably a first here. They actually have restrooms and water fountains in the queue. And I am having trouble finding a meal here. Now here's the movie from the Muppets, who won Best Song. But they might should have won Is Brave, which comes out this summer, the day forget me. There's John Carter. There's a couple of movies. Hey look, my old TV. Okay, just kidding. Ooh, here's my So far I haven't seen any prop in here that I find extremely familiar. Look, we have another old TV. Oh, the Muppet Cab. Okay, that one I find hardly familiar.
Ladies and gentlemen on the low dock, please look down and make sure you are standing behind the yellow safety line. This is your train, you'll be going on it. The doors are going to open straight out towards you, so stay behind that yellow line for safety. Thank you.
Well, this one came from The Lottery, the 1989 film, which was filmed by Happy Days creator Gary Marshall. And a copy of the Constitution. Did it really need to take 3 pages? Wow. All right. Oh, the doors are closing automatically. So there's the Rocketeer prop. There you go, the doors are still closing. I wish the Universal one was kind of like this. Oh, darkness and redness and whiteness. Finally, I got that effect to work. Okay, looks like our tour is about to begin.
Welcome to the Studio Backlot Tour. For a safe trip, please remain seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the tram. And be sure to watch your children. Thank you.
Bienvenidos. Para que tengan un viaje seguro, permanezcan sentados, con las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y vigilen a los niños. Gracias.
I like the design of the tram. Here we go, time to move on with the tram tour.
Hello everyone, my name is Don and welcome aboard. We're heading into the backlot of Disney's Hollywood Studios. This production area was built in 1988 from the Florida counterpart of the Walt Disney Studios in Burbank, California. We included sound stages, recording studios, high-tech editing rooms, all the tools needed to create movies, TV shows, and radio broadcasts. We've even got our very own water tower too. It's up ahead on the left side of our shuttle. We call it the Earful Tower. It's inspired by the water tower Walt Disney had built for his Burbank studio in 1939. Our Florida tower stands a lucky 13 stories high, and we added our own creative touch, a giant set of Mickey Mouse ears. If you wanted to wear those ears, you'd have to have a hat size of 342 3/8. Up ahead, after the next bend in the road, you'll have a perfect opportunity to take a picture of this famous icon.
There's
In
the old
world of
Adventures Club
entertainment,
stuff.
every project starts with a screenplay and a lot of creative ideas. A production studio is where the ideas of writers, producers, and directors are transformed into an on-screen reality. Within these huge spaces, filmmakers can literally create their own worlds. Our Florida sound stages are soundproof, weatherproof, and most importantly, air-conditioned. All vitally important for the cast, crew, and equipment. Many of the crafts needed for filmmaking are located right here on the lot. On the left, we have our own greens department. It grows flowers, trees, shrubs, and topiaries. A few well-placed plants can cover up empty spots in the set and add a touch of natural beauty to a scene. On the right are two of the aircraft from the 2001 blockbuster hit Pearl Harbor. These exact full-scale replicas of P-40 fighters were used in the special effect fight sequences. Of course, many of the planes you saw flying through the aerial battles or sitting on the ground weren't real at all.
There's the
They were
Earful Tower.
created entirely within a computer. Oh, keep your cameras focused to the right. We're coming up on that perfect angle of the Earful Tower I told you about. It's a true masterpiece.
There it is again. I don't see it.
We're entering one of our most glamorous and colorful departments, creative costuming. Every star has to have just the right wardrobe, and it all begins here with a designer's sketch. Our team of designers, seamstresses, and tailors can turn 1.5 million yards of fabric into over 25,000 costumes every year. Many of these costumes will become part of the shows and attractions of the Walt Disney World Resort. In fact, here in Florida, we have the largest working wardrobe department in the world. Why, Mickey Mouse alone has over 175 different outfits to choose from, while Minnie Mouse keeps more than 200 unique costumes in her wardrobe. On the left are costumes worn by the stars in recent studio productions. You'll probably recognize some of those costumes from the big screen.
There's Prince of Persia.
Every story needs a setting, and our design staff can create just about any place the script calls for,
There's
from
Pirates
an
of the
urban
Caribbean
city street
at
to a remote
World's
desert
End.
canyon. On the left is our scenic shop where large-scale sets and props are built. Our team of set designers, carpenters, artists, and engineers has created caves and caverns, game show sets, even replicas of the U.S. Supreme Court and NASA's Mission Control, all on our sound stages. The shop also provides sets and props for our shows and parades here at Walt Disney World. The same skill and craftsmanship that goes into a movie set can also be used to create magic for our parks. Either way, it's all about making dreams come true. Now we're entering a zone we call the Bone Yard. It's an outdoor storage area for oversized props and vehicles. Cars, trucks, boats, planes, we often save these props in case we need them for future production. In this Backlot collection, you may find real working vehicles, non-working mock-ups, and even large-scale miniatures used in special effects shots. Large-scale models create a more convincing illusion on camera. We even place small cutout passengers in the windows of the plane. We're now passing by the sets for our Lights, Motors, Action Extreme Stunt Show. On the left, you may catch a glimpse of the Mediterranean fishing village that sets the stage for this thrilling attraction. We'll get a closer look at it soon, but for now, we're approaching one of the largest standing sets on our back lot. It's over on the right. It may not look like much from this angle, but it's pretty spectacular on the other side. Great, folks. The production crew has just given us clearance to enter the set.
Hello, Backlot Tour. I'm Amy, the production coordinator here at the studios.
Look, there's a Disney plane that has both Disneyland and Walt Disney World on it. Yay!
Permission to come in and take a look around. I'm up here with our effects crew, and we're getting ready to shoot a test sequence. Oh, on the way in, you're going to be crossing a wooden bridge, and things may get a little bumpy, so please hold on to your belongings, especially hats, cameras, and glasses, and keep an eye on any small children at your party.
Here we are, we're at Catastrophe Canyon. Oh, dear God.
Welcome to the set. As you can see, we brought the bare, dry desert from Southern California to green, typically humid Central Florida. This set is based on real locations that our production designers are pictures of. Our set crew spent about 6 months building the canyon, but we've used it for a number of TV shows and specials over the years. For our upcoming production, the script called for a tanker truck. We found this one in our backyard, but it was too big to drive into place. So we picked it up with a crane and set it down here. We're up on the overhead platform, and I see our director has arrived. As soon as the rain effect is ready, we'll begin the sequence.
Here we go.
We rigged up a series of water dogs just above our trail. The water was raised and over the contractor to create a set. But this normally covers the first few feet of the set.
Wow. That was amazing. That was Catastrophe Canyon.
We use 100% real water, about 70,000 gallons of it, dumped from overhead tanks. Oh, but don't worry, we recycle. All of that water will be pumped right back up to the top for the next tank. We shoot some of the water through air cannons for an extra dynamic effect. Those air cannons are powerful enough to shoot a basketball over the top of a skyscraper this size of the Empire State Building. To top it off, our shuttle was sitting on hydraulic shaker cables. They provide the shaking, rattling, and rolling sensations for the scene. The entire sequence will be reset in 3.5 minutes. That's just enough time to bring in the next shuttle. Well, I'm time to get ready for our next take. Thank you all for being part of the action. Hey, I'm needed back on the set, so enjoy the rest of your tour.
Okay, well, thanks, Amy, for giving us access to the set.
Here's a better shot.
On the right, we have an authentic piece of Disney history. That Gulfstream 1 was known at airports across the country as November 234 Mickey Mouse, but we just call it the Mouse. In 1964, Walt Disney and his hand-picked team used this plane to scout locations for what he called the Florida Project. Soon, they secretly began purchasing thousands of acres of land, which became the Walt Disney World Resort in 1971. During the creation of the resort and later Epcot, the Mouse shuttled studio executives and Imagineers between Burbank and Orlando, making it the most used executive aircraft in the country. Appropriately, the Mouse retired here in 1992. As Walt used to say, it was all started by a mouse. In this case, the 234 Mickey Mouse. On our right, we once again sweep past the magnificent Mediterranean village of our lights, motors, action extreme stunt show. This high-octane attraction is based on the hit show from the Walt Disney Studios Park in France. In this action-packed production, you'll feel like you're right there on the set during the filming of a spy thriller, complete with custom-built cars, motorcycles, even jet skis. You'll experience the split-second timing, coordinated driving, and fiery special effects that make action movies a real blast. The staging area to our right is known as Acceleration Alley. Here, the custom-built stunt show vehicles rev their engines up to 70 miles an hour before making their high-speed entrances onto the stage for our lights, motors, action extreme stunt show. Of course, these are professional stunt drivers. We hope you'll enjoy their daring driving skills, but please, don't try them yourself.
I won't.
On the left, we've reached our second boneyard with more historic props and vehicles. When we reuse older props in a new production, they're often refitted with custom parts and given a whole new color scheme. You might not even recognize them the next time you see them on screen. For instance, coming up is our friend Herbie the Love Bug. He went through a special demolition derby makeover. Those dents and dings were added on purpose, but he can be polished up as good as new for his next starring role. On our right, we now have a very different view of the fishing village set. From this point of view, you can see that there is no inside of the building. They are just false fronts or facades. In the movie business, set builders only create what the camera has to see. It's an old movie trick dating all the way back to the silent era. To add to the sense of realism and avoid the cost of set building, many of today's television shows and movies film on location in cities and towns across the U.S. But out in the real world, you've got to contend with noise, traffic, crowds, and various visual elements that may or may not belong in your film. Here on the Backlot, we can avoid these problems because we created our very own flexible urban environment. Our Streets of America facades can stand in for a small town or a giant metropolis. As we come around the last corner on our route, you'll see the skyline of New York City in the distance. It's really a series of painted flats, expertly designed to fool the eye and the camera. We can dress and decorate these streets to look like any city we want, from Chicago to San Francisco. Depending on the choice of vehicles, props, and costumes, we can even turn back the clock and set our story in a different time. And what's more, these sets are built with Florida weather in mind. They're made to withstand 100-mile-an-hour winds. You're welcome to visit our Streets of America anytime during your visit today and get an up-close look at the skills of our set designers and builders. We've just about reached the end of our tour. Our final stop is the American Film Institute Showcase, where you can see the actual costumes and movie props used in some of Hollywood's most famous films. There are some pretty amazing items in there, so feel free to take all the time you like. Please stay seated until our tram comes to a complete stop and check around you for any personal items that may have fallen during our trip. Well, as they say in Hollywood, that's a wrap. Thanks for joining our Backlot tour, and we hope you'll come back to visit us again soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, welcome back. We hope you enjoyed this next part of the studio Backlot tour. When the shuttle comes to a complete stop, we'll open the doors for you. We do ask that you remain seated until those doors are all fully open, and then watch your head and step as you exit. Your destination and entry back to the park will be taken to the third part of the tour. That's going to be the American Film Institute Showcase. That's also your only way back into the park. Going to the park, let's go around.
Alright guys, this is my Cavalli 1, and now I'm going to show you guys the showcase here real quick. Right off the bat, we got Star Wars right off the bat. We got Darth Vader, played by James Earl Jones in the movies. Oh! And there's Darth Maul from the 1999 film of Star Wars. Now we got a couple of imposters here. This one, oh, Christopher, old man. Here's the Red Queen costume for the Alice in Wonderland, written by Tim Burton. This is from The Shining, starring Jack Nicholson. Here's the Gangs of New York, and here's Mighty Neverland.
How is Howard? He's not really a villain, he just kind of messes up.
Look, there's Bela Lugosi. There's Dracula. I think this must be from the, this is from Aliens from 1986. And this is the costume for Captain Barbossa. There's the Dead Man's Chest crew, and I sincerely feel bad for them. This is the organ. It's a lot bigger in person, I must say. Now here is Cutler Beckett. Now this is how Davy Jones started. First he special effects with great special effects. And all that is left now is the Lifetime Achievement Awards. But I am surprised Disney's not up there. Alright, Mike from LA1 signing off.